This mother was attacked in broad daylight and no one has ever been caught. 22-year-old Brittany Stykes grew up on a farm in Ripley, Ohio. She was married to her husband, 38-year-old Shane, but that farm was her first true love. She would often go back to that farm to spend time with her family, work with the animals, and work on cars with her father, Dave. On August 28th of 2013, Brittany had plans to go to the farm to celebrate her father's birthday with him and the rest of the family. She took her husband's yellow Jeep and took her 14-month-old daughter Aubrey with her. Aubrey was soon to be a big sister as Brittany was 4 months into her second pregnancy and she was truly excited to be a mother again. At approximately 7 p.m., a couple was driving on the Ohio Route 68 when they spotted a Jeep just off of the side of the road, so they decided to stop and investigate. When they looked inside of that Jeep, they found Brittany shot in the neck, chest, and arm, and she wasn't the only victim. Aubrey was shot in the head, but luckily she was alive. The couple called police, and once they got there, they saw that Aubrey was in dire need of medical attention, so they immediately rushed to the hospital without calling an ambulance. Sadly, Brittany was not as lucky, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. In the distance, Brittany's parents, Dave and Mary, could hear sirens nearby, but they had no idea what was going on. Within a few minutes, Brittany's brother, who was also on his way to the birthday party, told his parents that something horrible happened on the highway. Dave and Mary knew that Brittany had to take that road to get to the farm, and they just had this bad feeling that something happened to Brittany and Aubrey. Dave just decided to drive down to the scene, but was stopped by police before he could even see what had happened. He asked if something happened to his daughter and Aubrey, and that's when he was told the awful news. Around 11:30 p.m., police arrived at Shane and Brittany's home, and when they had arrived, Shane had no idea what was going on. He was under the impression that Brittany and Aubrey were at her parents' house. However, when police asked him if he was the owner of a yellow Jeep, he immediately knew something was wrong. First, Shane was looked at as a suspect, but he did have an alibi. He was at a gym 15 minutes away when the crime happened. He was tested for gunshot residue, he passed a polygraph test, and he was cleared of any wrongdoing. Shane has publicly stated he knows who did this to his wife, but he has never given a name. He has claimed that he has informed the police about who he thinks did this, but they haven't really done much about it. In 2015, police were hopeful that they had found a lead when a woman came forward stating that her boyfriend was the one responsible for doing this to Brittany and that she was also there at the scene when it happened, but police ended up dismissing her story. Police believe that Brittany was a targeted victim and they may know the motive as well. Although there are several promising leads, police have not arrested anyone or even found a weapon. Police are just hoping that the public will come forward with any kind of information on Brittany. As for Dave and Mary, they have had a contentious relationship with Shane after what had happened to Brittany, and luckily Aubrey did survive after 4 surgeries, so they want to keep a positive relationship with their granddaughter. At one point, Dave and Mary tried to fight for custody of Aubrey, but ended up dropping the case after a month. Dave believes that someone knows what had happened to Brittany and he just wants them to come forward. Mary wants answers, but most importantly, she wants answers for Aubrey. Aubrey frequently asks about her mother and where she is, and her grandparents want to tell her the truth, but they want to wait until someone is behind bars. Dave calls the sheriff's office daily to see if there's any kind of new information out there, and he also doesn't want them to forget about Brittany's case. As for Shane, he wants Brittany's case to be solved, but at this point, he has little hope. Someone out there knows what happened to Brittany, and if you have any kind of information, please do not hesitate to reach out to Brown County Sheriff's Office. Brittany and her unborn child rest in peace. I truly hope that she does get justice one day.